as an airline passenger can often be an unforgettable experience, but there are times where the experience is memorable for all the wrong reasons. Incessant flight delays, lost luggage, poor service, or a number of other problems that result in a significant inconvenience or financial loss for the passenger. On the program, we turn our attention to some of these experiences that passengers face while connecting places or businesses, and how they can seek redress when they are not satisfied. Welcome to Aviation This Week on Channels Television. I'm Bukola Joe Ukitumbi.
It's a gathering of women plying their trade in the aviation industry in Nigeria. Like many other fields largely dominated by men, these women say it's time to lend their voice to the sector's development. Among the long list of dues for government, this group believes there's a need to upgrade navigational facilities at airports nationwide to improve operational safety. The occasion also had in attendance 13 female pilots who were honored for their contribution to the growth of the nation's domestic airline market.
We're not super, we're same thing as every other person. There's no difference to me. Pilot, not a pilot, there's no difference. It's just that you have to go through the process. You have to go for the training, which is the basic, and after that, if you qualify, then you become one.
When it comes to flying, it's more intellect. You have to read a lot. You have to know your aircraft systems. You have to know your limitations, your standard operating procedures. You have to know the law. When I mean law, I mean air law. So there's so much technicality to it. And at the end of the day, when you're flying an aircraft, I mean, if the aircraft weighs 149 tons, the man is not exactly pulling it with those muscles. It's fly-by-wire, and that's the same thing the female does. She flies the aircraft just like a man would.
And on the foreign scene, a low-cost carrier, Fly Dubai, will take delivery of its 43rd aircraft on the 3rd of December, coinciding with the 43rd United Arab Emirates National Day. The Boeing 737-800 aircraft is the last of 8 aircrafts to be delivered this year, and this month also sees the airline make a concerted push into Eastern Europe. 4 times weekly flights to Prague begin from December the 5th, twice weekly flights start between Dubai and Bratislava from the 6th, and twice weekly flights to Sofia in Bulgaria from the 14th. The airline will take delivery of more than 100 new Boeing aircrafts by the end of 2023. And from airlines to airports, this time, Gatwick Airport in the United Kingdom is celebrating its 5th birthday under an independent ownership. Its owners say a £1 billion investment plan is in place that will further transform the airport in the coming years. The breakup of the BAA monopoly saw Gatwick enter private ownership in 2009, allowing it to compete head-on for the first time with Heathrow, Stansted and other major European airports for airlines and passengers. The £1 billion investment program will see the creation of 2 world-class terminals, a new check-in area and next-generation security facilities, which include the creation of a new security area opening in the North Terminal in 2016 and new features such as reconfigured lanes and floor. And now to accident investigation. This time, the National Transportation Safety Board, the NTSB, has cited failure by Boeing and its battery suppliers and insufficient oversight by the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration has been responsible in a lithium-ion battery fire aboard a Boeing 787 in Boston early last year. According to the report, the probable cause of this incident was an internal short circuit within a cell of the APU lithium-ion battery, which led to a thermal runaway that cascaded to adjacent cells, resulting in the release of smoke and fire. The incident resulted from Boeing's failure to incorporate design requirements to mitigate the most severe effects of an internal short circuit within an APU battery cell, and the FAA's failure to identify this design deficiency during the type design certification process. The incident occurred on January the 7th, 2013, when the APU lithium-ion battery on the Japan Airlines 787 caught fire while the aircraft was on the ground at Boston Logan International Airport. The incident preceded a similar event on the 16th of January of that year, when the battery caught fire on an All Nippon Airways 787, forcing the crew to make an emergency landing. The NTSB report notes insufficient oversight down the regulatory manufacturing chain, from the FAA to Boeing, from Boeing to battery designer Thales Group, and from Thales to the battery manufacturer Japanese company GS Yuasa.
Been delayed once. I remember 2 years ago from Port Harcourt, they delayed by an hour or so due to technical hitches or whatever the excuse was. I can't remember precisely. I guess the operators are in the best position to explain why, but they just said the excuse was just technical hitches, and that was it. So what if I had a pressing appointment in Lagos? I would have missed it.
In-flight services, a bit pretty poor. I think the meal they give in there is a bit low powered, so they should upgrade the kind of meal they give in there. I understand the water, I understand the juice, that's fine, but the snack that come along can be done better. And then the sitting needs to be a little more comfortable. I think there's something really about the sitting that I don't pretty much enjoy. That's it.
Obviously, to an extent, this terminal, currently where I am currently, is you can say it's okay, at least for Nigerian standard. It's fine. It could be better, but it's fine. It's okay. I'm not sweating. The AC is, at least the temperature is controlled enough and stuff. And to an extent, you have a good and okay PA system, which is important because passengers need to know when the flights are coming in and when they're going.
In a pioneering area like consumer protection, we expected that we would have so many issues. But the fact that the stakeholders in the aviation industry were ready to partner with us, especially the airlines, I would say that things are looking up, especially with new entrants into the airline business. Now that there's competition, it makes for better service. People who hitherto used to go by road daily streaming now into the airports since fares are coming down, so people can now afford to go by air. And the fact that once it becomes more affordable, it's much faster. It takes away all the dangers of going by road and things like that. So therefore, it is a continual thing. We have a call center that is coming on board very soon. It is still a long way to go, in that the regulations require that each airline has customer service officers and customer service desks in all airports they operate into, so that they resolve their issues with the passengers. It is the airline and the passenger that have a contract of carriage, so if they can resolve their differences among themselves, the better for us. So we keep encouraging airlines to go ahead and do that, and I would say we have some fantastic airlines in that area now. And even if there are hiccups, which you must expect in the industry, there must be delays, there must be cancellations. It is the handling that we are really after. And most airlines now know what they are supposed to do, and they go ahead and do it. Aviation is such a business that delays are inevitable. in that you are dealing with human beings, you are dealing with machines, you are dealing with logistics. Let's take a simple instance of fuel, for instance. Jet 1 is only loaded in Apapa, WAF, and for the past 20-25 years, the piping system that we used to have that could bring products straight to the airport, to Juhai, has been comatose. So therefore, we carry all the fuel that aircraft use in this airport on the surface, that's through tankers on the route. With the current repair of Apapa road, add to it the fact that only Apapa jetty loads and not the others, because of issues of the airlines who are complaining that they used to have issues with the quality of fuel if they load from the other jetty, so they had to dedicate only one jetty for that. So take our major airline operator, just the international operations. You know that Arik now goes to 4 different locations daily. They go to Joburg, go to JFK, go to Dubai, and what the other one. So therefore, even at that alone, you are talking of at least 20 truckloads of fuel a day. Add the domestic operations, add 25 other international airlines that come into the country, into Lagos every day. Then you start thinking of the quantum. You are talking of 200, 250 tanker loads of fuel, Jet A1 coming into the airport on a daily basis. With the quality of the vehicles themselves, the drivers of the vehicles, the operators of the vehicle themselves, take the route into cognizance. And that's why at the stage we had serious issues with the major operators. Arik and Aero had delays, and everybody was saying, okay, why not the other airlines? Why is it only? It's because of the volume of the operations. So these are issues that are really beyond us, even as a CAA, because CAAs don't delve into piping of how to get products into the airport. So these are issues that we have to report, and they go further up before they are now taken care of by the agencies that are supposed to do that. Add traffic situation in Lagos, the fact that we only have one mode of transport. You have to come by road. Buses are not operational, so to speak. We don't have rail services, no intermodal. So therefore, crew would normally get stuck in traffic, and that may delay flights. You see, captain is not there. If captain is not there, the flight cannot go. So that's why we say yes, delays are inevitable. Weather adds to it, air traffic control adds to it. The facilities that we have in the airport itself, Abuja has only one runway, for instance, so you expect that since only an aircraft can take off or land at the same time, you can't have one or two going leaving at the same time as you do in Lagos. So there are also issues of the facilities themselves not being enough and being overstretched. In the terminal building themselves, you have noticed the baggage carousels are nothing to write home about. Most times they break down. People have to wait on end before you can even get to your baggage after such a long trip. And issues like that, it's generally difficult to do business in Nigeria. So therefore, when such things happen, it is how it is handled that is really our problem. You don't just keep people in the airport for 5 hours without telling them what's going on. You carry them along. Announce to them.